first world. And then systematically, that has been changed. Federal character in that fraudulent constitution, which was made unenforceable, now allow the Fulani, who are not, and I will keep saying that, to now capture all the most of the revenue producing sectors. And Majupe had helped us with that picture. And Majupe, you can definitely show that up again when we talk about the economic stagnation. So let's just talk a little bit about and refresh people's minds on number 5. The implementation of the economic and industrial stagnation of the people. And then we'll go on to number 6, which is the start of the extermination process. Number 7 is installing a Fulani president. And then number 8 is to distort the narrative and keep putting out the herder-farmer conflict. And we'll talk about that. And then number 9 is amending the Constitution to now impose colonies. And then number 10 will be to begin the mass extermination of the indigents. 11, complete the total rule. And then 12 will now be Islamization or slavery for the indigents. And this is not just about Nigeria, but about West Africa as well, as we'll talk about. So Modupe, if you can kick us off, implement economic and industrial stagnation of the people. Just a little bit of an overview of that, and then we will jump into how they've started the extermination process and what that means for the indigents. Welcome, Majupe.
Yes, thank you, Jean, and welcome everybody again to a program where we seek to enlighten our people, to educate our people about the plight. So last week we stopped exactly where Jane said that we did with the plans to stagnate the population and to keep people in perpetual poverty. So there are a number of actions that have been implemented over time to ensure that the people are indeed in poverty. One of those is the example that we have with Dangote, where a sole individual who is a Fulani and also from the non-indigenous group has the sole authority or the sole monopoly to deal in commodities, in essential commodities like rice, sugar, and even cement, where no other Nigerian can actually can enter this market and create like a kind of a market a kind of demand and supply kind of market environment.
It's a monopoly, more or less, if you like.
It's a monopoly, exactly. So that way, those commodities are very expensive. For example, the price of cement in Nigeria is even more expensive than in other countries. And this is this is a country where we even get the materials to make the cement are natural to our environment, like in some of the states in the country. And so it makes absolutely no sense why such commodities or why such materials will be very expensive in the country where it's been produced. Another one are the a lack of refineries in the south. I mean, in the south, and even and even in the middle belt. Now, it's only this same man who is now trying to get a refinery in Lagos, right? And so we don't know, how you can describe that as as being equitable, how you can describe that as being, observing federal character, which is what we're supposed to be, to be doing under federalism. But we know this is a fake federalism, but then, we just need to be educated about what is really going on and some of the things that the government, some of the the plans or the actions that they've put in place. Even the borders have been closed in the south while the borders are open in the north, right? And so when the borders are closed in the south, it means that tradings and market forces cannot happen there. So goods and services cannot enter. And so at the same time, the people are not able to to obtain commodities that are very basic to them, that are very basic to the citizens, to be able to the citizens to obtain. Now, there are also other, actions that they've put into place to make sure that the people are impoverished. For example, farmers cannot even go to their farms. And now they're telling us that, oh, it's farmer herders clash, that they are just, the farmers and the herders are fighting. But that is not the case. What they've done is to flood all of the farming communities with their bandits and the foreign Fulanis who will bring their cattle to come and consume crops that the farmers have spent a tremendous amount of money and time to plant and to cultivate. These are just a few examples of the wickedness that is going on and the attempt at keeping the people on a poverty, to keep them on a poverty chain or to have them chained to poverty. So, these are things that our people need to be aware of. These are things that our people need to know of. And so again, they say, knowledge is power and power is freedom. So us being able to discuss this and to be able to bring this to the awareness of people, is really is the key to us sensitizing going on. And the attempt at
welcome.
I think you're muted. Jean, you're muted.
Sorry, thank you very much for that great summary. That was very, very succinct because, monopolies have been created unnaturally. And monopolies, as we know, results in higher pricing because there's no competition. And there was absolutely no reason to create a monopoly that results in significantly higher prices. And it's not just in cement, it's in rice, it's in all the basic things that the people need. Okay. And then coupled with, as you said, the stagnation of the middle belt, which is a farming belt area, and really displacing all those farmers and taking over their land, it's really contributing to the economic stagnation. It is contributing to the starvation and poverty of the people as well. Okay, Citizen AY, are you ready so that we can jump into
Yes.
where we're starting today with number 6? Did you want me to?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Modupe, can you flash it up for him so that we can?
I'll just read through it so we can all read it. Yeah, that'll be good. Let's have a look.
One of the things that's very important for us to remember is that, as Modupe said, gaining this knowledge is very important. And the part that we're going into now is kind of a little very hard to really talk about because it's something that really we have a lot that's going on in Nigeria simultaneously on a daily basis from the northeast, northwest to the south.
Indeed.
And while we're waiting for Modupe to flash that up, you might wonder, why is that going on in that area? Well, that is the area where you would have your moderate Muslims and you will have your Christians and those who have their own indigenous beliefs.
Yeah.
And so you would find that southern Kaduna is being attacked on a frequent basis. And there is just ethnic cleansing going on there, a genocide going on
Genocidal proportion.
While northern Kaduna is not being touched. Modupe, anytime that you're ready, if you can show up the slide would be great. Or if you want me to bring that up, I can do that also.
Oh, I think she's muted.
Yeah, I was just looking to see if she has her slides up.
Okay, the slides, yes, the one with the
Yeah, so that we can go to where we start
Is it 7?
for
Are we looking at from 6?
yeah,
Is it number 7?
number six.
Seven,
Yeah,
yes.
number six.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
6.
AY, go ahead. You can go ahead and get started.
Right. Good evening to you all.
Okay.
Welcome on board. Um, from what we've been saying, we've been consistently doing this program as often as we can on
You
Saturdays
can go up.
in the evening and really explain to you the dangers, the genocide that has been going on. Jean, myself, Dr. Modukwe, and Dr. My elder Fality, and professors
You
and
need to go
various
to
other
the
people
slide,
have been
Madhukar, with
talking
you.
about the issue of the constant genocide that's been going on. I mean, you can see in these pictures. What we are saying to you all is we need to stop the Fulani state-sponsored terrorism in Nigeria. We have to stop it. And that requires you and I to work together. I want to really put emphasis on one thing in this
Slide
broadcast.
5.
Slide 5. Okay, let's go back 5. Can you? Oh, are you moving it? Or am I?
Yeah, okay, there you are. There you are. There it is.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I just
Right.
want
So
to so you
okay.
can
So
get
good.
started.
So now we're going to be reading this on as you've seen it. So the Fulani, they basically have a conquest plan, and they're continuing with that. They're progressing with that. Well, our job is simple. We need to put a stop to that because it is actually impacting those of us, the indigenous people. That is to say, the non-indigenous people, the non-indigenous Fulanis are impacting us negatively in our land. Here's how this goes about. This is how they carry out with their plans. And number 6, it says, start the extermination process by utilizing terrorists and Fulani herdsmen to start killing the natives in the rural areas, as indicated by Malafia. Killing in the middle belt started around 2012 and has continued with Fulani herdsmen partnership with Boko Haram, ISWAP, ISIS, etc. These are part of, we've been saying this before. I mean, those who've been watching us, you would have heard us mention those names: Boko Haram, ISWAP, ISIS, Fulani herdsmen, Miyetti Allah, etc. We've been mentioning these names. What we are saying is it is important that this message reaches into our communities to make people aware. As we speak, a man, a honorable Doguwa, something Doguwa was saying that we should carry arms. He said this in the House of Representatives yesterday. He was saying this, that they should tell everybody to carry arms. And we need vigilante groups. That is what this is about, to stop these killings. The plans of the Fulanis has to be thwarted in our lands in the Middle Belt and the South. We need to do that. Now let's carry on to number 7.
Let's talk a little bit about number 6 because
Okay.
that has a lot to go with it. And
Exactly, good.
Madhukar,
Okay.
do you happen to have the
Dr. Malafia.
yeah, Malafia video?
Yeah.
Where he's talking about and I mean that was very brave of him to have done
It
that.
was. May his soul rest in peace.
Unfortunately, exactly.
May his soul rest in peace.
But he came out and he provided information about the things that are going on and what the terrorists were saying about who is actually behind Boko Haram in Nigeria. And as everyone remembers, he was called in for questioning and held for questioning. There was a big to do about that. Madhukar, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and
play Dr. Malafia. Let's hear his words again. May his soul rest in peace.
And we all were very relieved when he was released. But as we all know, I think it was it last year? Or was it early this year? Everything is running together in my mind now. When unfortunately he passed away. And
there's a number of issues around that, and you and I know that.
Exactly. So we have heard very disturbing news about that. But let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Just before you click play, let me just give a little bit intro on this. This is Dr. Malafia. He mentioned this. He said he even had spoken to a governor. He wasn't going to mention the name of the governor at the time. And what he said was going to happen in 2022 is, guess what? That's what is happening right now. Right now. Happening. So let's listen on. Roll the tape. Thank you.
It's important for us to listen. Yes. We don't have the volume.
Oh, your end. You have to unmute yourself. I don't think we.
Unmuted.
it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to
Can you
feel
restart it, please? Because there's something important that he was asked.
Yeah.
which is
Good. Yeah.
Which is it for you, Dr. Obadiah? Do you think the government is unwilling or unable to protect the people of Southern Kaduna?
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations to you.
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers.
Yes.
That's big.
Yes. Okay. How will the government say
that's
it's
good.
revenge killing and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so forth. The body language of this administration, the body language of the state government shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because you see, General Abacha, and people don't give him his due. Do you think you would have tolerated such nonsense? And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the south, in the rainforests of the south. They're everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria.
So,
Wow.
so that is what we are looking at. In the context of what Jean was mentioning there, Jean, if I may just interject a little bit there, that is what Jean was really emphasizing, for us to understand precisely what these people, their plans were. You could hear the detailed analysis given by the former governor, Bank of Nigeria governor, Malafia. You could hear he was explaining and exposing all of these things. And of course, for doing that, they took his life. Let's not quip about that. Jean, over to you. Let me, if you want to add some more things before on this particular subject,
yes,
on the 6th.
Stephen, do you have anything to add on Mojepe, so that we can have a conversation? Because this is about the extermination. And it's not just May Lafia that has said that, right?
Yeah.
What's it? T.Y. Danjuma.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
T.Y. Danjuma mentioned the same
Collude,
thing. There's
collude.
cleansing. And that he said the government is colluding. That's 2018. 2020, we have May Lafia. And then in the letter that Akintoye, that we watched, right? He was reading the letter from the jihadists.
Yeah.
It said that as well, right?
It did.
So, and then there's this constant reference to they are coming to take the land that their grandfather, Otman Danfodio, gave to them. Fulani have no land in Nigeria.
Thank you.
They are not from Nigeria. They are not from West Africa. And we're not talking about this as in you shouldn't go someplace else, right? You can be a migrant. But when you're a migrant and you come into a place and you want to kill off the people, kill them off, take their land and make them slaves. And I can't find that video. I will find that video where they're actually showing the progression of what, you know, this Sharia and jihad means. And let's not forget, when you mention Sharia, you're mentioning Buhari.
Yes, indeed.
Because that was his stated goal. And they made Sharia into the 12 contiguous states in the north are now Sharia, right? And so, I mean, like that has been out there. And then They also joined the Organization of Islamic Countries.
Yeah.
Nigeria is supposed to be non-secular. How is a non-secular country joining the OIC?
Exactly.
And then we talked about this also, the fact that the joint regional right force only has Muslim countries. And again, this is not a Muslim Christian. This is we're talking about extremists.
Exactly.
We're talking about Afghanistan, Iran, Syria. This is the level of what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. And I know that my Muslim brothers and sisters are also perturbed by why they're making this to be something like what the Quran or Islam is talking about. This is sort of like the fringe, but the fringe seems to be exploding across not just West Africa, but also, I mean, we've even heard them talking about in England. I don't know if you guys saw that video, right? So I will be quiet and let somebody else talk about the extermination, because these numbers are staggering. Anyone want to talk about the current events that happened just this week?
Exactly. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
You can go ahead.
Yes. Actually, I have a video of what of the event that that occurred just this past week in Kaduna. So I'm looking for that. If
Abuja,
I'm not sure.
There's Abuja, right?
It's the Abuja one, the Abuja
Kaduna,
train.
Yeah, from Kaduna to Abuja, or Abuja to Kaduna.
And then the Kaduna airport.
Okay, so I do have a video about
that. Unfortunately, too much, way too much, for that the indigents are enduring, and those are major things. And the thing is, the Western world, they are not actually paying attention. Or if they are paying attention, maybe it's about the goods and services, the things that you can continue to get for free because there is corruption and there is insecurity, so things are being sold for for next to nothing.
That's correct.
We've seen those videos about how Africa has to be kept poor.
That's correct.
We've seen all of that, right? So maybe that's what's going on, but they don't understand. I mean, like 4 million coming out of Ukraine. Is straining the world resources. Think about 100 million coming out of Nigeria.
Exactly. Exactly.
Go ahead, Majuka.
So this is the video about the reporting the very sad occurrence on Monday or earlier this week.
The state of insecurity in Kaduna, where 2 attacks back-to-back on wheel tracks left 7 dead and many more injured. Soldiers have been drafted to secure the stretch, and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has visited victims, including a former deputy governor, where he describes the perpetrators as cowards. We have a report from Lupe Asom in Kaduna.
A medical doctor, Chinelu Megafu, was one of those who alerted the public on the attack through her tweets. She's now confirmed to be among those who didn't make it alive. Among hundreds of passengers who boarded the Kaduna-Abuja train that was attacked by bandits Monday night. And though there were reports that night that the train and the passengers were all rescued and safe at a military facility, events of Tuesday morning turned the story around. Family members of missing passengers visited the Rulasa station to get updates from the authorities who claim to have evacuated them.
I have my brother, he's in the train. He's together with his friend, so we called his number. So his number was ringing for the first time. Then the second time he called the number again, the guy close to him picked the phone, and he told us that he left the phone inside the train, but he nowhere to be found.
Senior military officers later visited the site of the attack to assess the situation. On the governor's arrival to one of the hospitals, a victim narrated his experience.
That old woman, she's with her daughter. So they now asked the daughter to join us and the woman to stay behind. The lady protested a little bit and they said they will kill her if she don't come. So we keep moving. They left the old woman. Yeah, they left the old woman.
The vice president also visited the 44 reference hospital to sympathize with some victims. He assured them of the federal government's commitment to improve security around transport assets, despite attempts by terrorists to cause fear.
There is no
There is no redeeming feature of this. This is just purely evil. It's cowardly. There's nothing that there's nothing it achieves except to just cause fear. And for some people, of course, there might be profit, those who are trying to kidnap and all of that. But I think that it also reinforces our own belief that we must continue to provide the kind of security and surveillance that is required on the rail tracks. And that, of course, is something that we are very actively doing.
The train services to and from Abuja have been suspended, and military operatives are carrying out various rescue operations, while citizens are calling for firmer security measures to guarantee their safety. Lupe Ason, TVC News.
If I may just add that,
talk about what he said.
The vice president, yes, the vice president said, "Oh, we're providing security and we're making efforts and blase and blase." Well, next to him, the person who was standing next to him, was so. I mean, it was so vocal about how the previous administration, before them, were very complicit about or complacent about security. And he said, and there are so many videos that are out there. If you want, I can find the time to share some of those. That they know the locations of the bandits. Yeah. They know that they even eavesdrop on them, and they know how to locate them. So how come? So why are they? What has been done between Monday or Sunday and now to apprehend these people, right? I'm not sure. We haven't heard any of those, right? And again, they talked about, we have security and blah 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 all over the place. Okay, so if security were there, how long did it take between the attack and the time that that help came? Because the people who were the victims, said that it took, that they were there for up to, a lady said they were actually there for about 2 hours before help came. That's number two. Yeah. Number three, there's actually a report. Even they said that one of the northern governors is the commandant of Boko Haram. I'm not sure if the guy standing next to the vice president is the guy or not. But we can leave that to for people.
My Lafia said it before he died. That is the commander for Boko Haram. He is a governor. A northern governor.
Exactly. So and then one more thing that came out of this guy's mouth, I believe last year, he said, you cannot compare bandits with IPOB. Bandits are doing business, and the IPOB are the ones they want secession. So now secession, so self-determination is a crime, but banditry is not. So it's a business. So
again, let's remember,
May I?
That
yes, you may. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Stephen.
Just want to make a quick comment and observation on the self-serving appearance of Pastor Ruger. I hope you all know who I'm talking about.
Yes, we know.
Yes, we've been having atrocities across the board the last several years, but now that it's election time, and he's been he's been positioned for the heir apparent position, all of a sudden he shows up in northern Kaduna to show his situational sympathy for the atrocities. Rather disingenuous but convenient. I've got a few other things to say, but I let
no, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say further that although unfortunate, the current wave of atrocities that we are seeing across the board is only testament to the resilience of Southern Kaduna residents, one, and the Southern ethnic citizens in general. Because you recognize when the Fulanis first came in the 1800s and early 1900s, there was very little atrocity. That's because they were able to successfully use religion to enslave the Hausas.
Yeah.
In getting a foothold in northern Nigeria and eventually getting the most of northern Nigeria. But unfortunately for them, even though they tried it five years ago to make this a religious war, because we're very resilient and intelligent enough to recognize and convince those who don't see in between the line that this is not a religious war.
It isn't.
So when that failed, that's when they kicked into their plan B to use the jihadist methodology to conquer.
Yeah.
And I think this needs to be inculcated into the minds of the general populace and the youth who are being lulled into thinking, oh, it's a religious war. I heard something very disturbing, which I will verify later. In a meeting this morning, somebody actually mentioned that if you are approaching Ilorin, Kwara State, from Ogbomoso, as soon as you hit the state line of Kwara, there's a billboard posted saying, "Welcome to the Islamic State of Kwara."
What?
Yes.
Islamic State of. Have you got a picture of that? If there's a picture of that,
I'm going to make a few phone calls.
Yeah, please.
Today and have somebody.
Let's be clear. Again, I keep trying to make this clear. This isn't about Islam that we know, because we got our Muslim friends, right? This is about radical. We're talking about Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what we're talking about. Is Afghanistan Sharia? It's Afghanistan that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no beef between moderate Muslims and Christians and those who are practicing, their native or indigenous religions, right?
Exactly.
This is about radicalization and turning West Africa into Afghanistan.
Indeed.
Okay. And these are the Fulani that have no land, but they've now managed to have a president in Nigeria and 4 and 3 other countries. We talked about that the last time, right? I think it's Guinea-Bissau was one of them. Yes. And so they now have 4 countries. And this is a similar plan that we're talking about here that they use there as well. When they went to Central African Republic, they failed there.
Yeah.
They're in Ghana as we speak.
Yeah.
Carrying the same thing out, right? So, but let's listen to this, because they want to make this as if it's that was so disingenuous of the vice president to talk about how this is bandits and wanting to. What bandits? We already know that the bandits are the kidnappers, are the Fulani herdsmen, they're Boko Haram. I mean, they're all the same. Because Melafia said that. And we've had we've had other people that have given the information. They are one and the same. They're giving them different names as if they're different people. They're not.
Yeah, so it is.
So Jean, based on what the vice president said, right? How is he going to respond to this? Because I have this that I want us to listen to, because the guy did not stutter. He said government.
Yes.
So let's hear it.
It is in Hausa for those.
Hold on. Yeah, well, the translation is there.
The translation is up there.
Yeah.
I'm just letting people know that it is in Hausa. So Hausa, those that speak Hausa or understand it can listen in.
You should be able to.
I'm trying to get this.
Your volume is closed.
Yeah. I know. Let me try and get this my volume corrected one. Show volume. Okay. Let's see.
It should be there, but
There you go.
Okay, right there. So let me start from the beginning. And yes, it's in Hausa, but the translation is
there
also
exactly
as well.
Yeah.
Wanda yake cikin daji ya ta'addanci ba Allah ubangiji ya tsine ma Allah dauki rayuwa ta a wurin. Mahilla ce saniya aka san shi da ita sai noma. Saniya ba ta haifa bindiga AK 47.
AK-47.
Mahilla ce da makera da zai kera bindiga AK 47.
You see.
Gwamnati ke turowa har muka samu mu kuma wallahi dalilin da ya sa billahi lazi shekara na bakwai ina makarantar allo amma lokacin da na dawo na tsinci kaina a cikin wannan abun wallahi ina mamaki kullum ina tunanin rayuwata saboda mahaifana akalla a kasar dan banga da tahi.
So you heard him. He said that we only know cows and how to rear cows. Cows
Exactly.
don't give birth to guns.
Exactly.
So and he said, and I know if there's, I mean, I don't speak Hausa, I don't understand that good, but if there's something that I understand when he said wallahi, it means that, you know, I swear to God,
that's it,
right?
yes.
That I'm not lying, that this is the truth. And he said he's not afraid to tell the truth. And we heard it, right? This is exactly this translation of what he said in our.
Yeah, very, very true. I mean, I think the operative word right there is to really talk about this issue of this that AK-47. Keep in mind that we as Southerners, Middle Beltern and Southerners, we are not allowed to possess AK-47. And our guns are taken away from us. Any guns. Even the guns that we have, the farmers' guns, they have gone and taken them away from. I personally have family members that this has happened to. It's not a question of saying, oh, excuse, this is what has happened. And at the same time, they armed these 16, 17-year-olds in armadillo schools. That's what they've been taught in the schools. When they say that schools, the schools of killing, they're teaching them about killing machines, like how to kill. And when they graduate, they give them the said AK-47. That is the reality of what we are faced with. So when we are talking about this number 6 is really important. You know, it's about a process. They've lined out the process of extermination of people, of indigenous people, Middle Beltans, Southerners, maybe the Hausas. There was a video that came out recently, a few days ago, where the Hausa man was screaming and shouting, calling for his fellow Hausas to rise up against the Fulanis who are killing them. And he was telling that it was saying it indigenous people of Nigeria. And he was talking about Hausas and the indigenous people. That is also, that I'm sure that means Middle Beltans and Southerners. And we need to wake up. So if the Hausas, who are the ones who have been overtaken, are screaming, we should rise up. We need to work together. And the Honorable Dogua in the House stated that we should arm ourselves. We don't need to wait for anybody. We need to arm ourselves to stop the killing. We have the right to life as stated in that fraudulent constitution. As fraudulent as it is.
All the international laws.
Thank you.
But the thing is, you know, like in southern Kaduna, I don't know if you remember, it was last year or the year after, they actually took their machetes. So that, you know, anything big, and then they would just be mercilessly being attacked.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So this is a very, very, very important point for us to understand. Now, no, this isn't just about insecurity, right?
Goes way beyond that.
Ethnic cleansing. This is what we're talking about. This is the ethnic cleansing that we're talking about. This is the the conquest route that we've been talking about. Okay, because you know we're talking insecurity, but that's really not what it is.
Yeah,
this is a real plan. It is a real plan, and I'm just going to show something really quickly because I think this is something that we haven't talked about, right? So let's talk about this because this is part of what we're talking about.
Oh,
let's talk about repentant Boko Haram.
Yes,
repentant. Okay.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna be the first to say it. Afghanistan had repented.
Exactly. They've repented, and then look at what happened
there.
Yeah.
No other country is taking, you know, terrorists into the. I mean, if you have, we talked about this. If you're a felon and you're and you have naturalized in another country and you commit a felony, your citizenship is revoked. In Nigeria, we take terrorists that have killed over 400,000.
We reward them with citizenship.
4 million. and we give them citizenship.
No, we reward them.
We reward them.
Actually, the word is you reward them. You reward them
for
killing
our
people.
military.
Yeah.
What is going on?
It's
So when we talk
crazy.
about extermination, this is 559.
Yeah.
When did they repent? When were they tried?
It's crazy.
Did you see it? I didn't see it.
It is absolutely
But
crazy.
this is what has been going on. Hundreds and thousands of them. Not to mention the ones that are coming in, right?
Yeah.
We saw the Bauchi governor talking about all Fulani. And as they're coming in, they're being given identification because they're calling them citizens of Nigeria.
Yep.
He's calling them citizens of Nigeria under Ruga. I don't see any law that makes all citizens around Africa Nigerians.
No
they
way.
are not
They're not.
Nigerians that should not have Nigerian citizenship until they go through a rigorous background check and everything else that comes with that, right?
Do you know, Jean, just to interject there, one of the things that they said at this particular thing, because I actually had a video of this played on Citizen AY, the general said that they've been doing this, they've been they've been giving them retraining them and bringing them in as citizens since 2016.
Yes, after
Since
Buhari took
2016.
office. Well, that's a good segue.
That is correct.
That is a good segue. But I want to show one more thing because, you know, this is when we talk about the false narrative, this is very interesting, right? Let me share this. In 2019, they said that all Fulani across Africa are Nigerians. In 2021, they are no longer Nigerians. They're from Mauritania, Central African Republic, right?
Exactly.
Oh, what does that say to you? Every Fulani that they have brought in under this fake Ruga needs to leave.
Exactly. They
need to, all of them in the forest, they need to move out because they're not Nigerians. Our president have said to Bauchi governor, your Fulanese around Africa are not Nigeria.
Indeed.
They are from Mauritania, Central African Republic, etc. They are not Nigerians. So explain to me why they were brought in and given citizenships, and this is what they're doing in our country, and they keep integrating them in. Integrating them in. Okay, so this is what's going on, you know, and that's why we're trying to pull all this stuff together so people will know what's going on. They need to understand what's going on. Modripa, do you have the attack at the Kaduna airport? Because again, I keep repeating this. Afghanistan is unloading in Nigeria.
It is.
Afghanistan is unloading in Nigeria.
Let me also give you guys a bit of an update. Few days ago, about 2 days ago, the US are planning to open, get this, they are planning to open the largest consulate in the entire world in Nigeria. I don't quite know if you quite understand what this means.
Say that again.
I haven't seen that.
The US government.
Let me search for that.
The US, I can share it. They are planning to open the largest consulate in the world in Nigeria. Now, actually, I am telling you, we need to be very aware, and it's going to be in Lagos. Tinubu was there. Was there to open this. And the governor of Lagos State was there, plus all of those other people there doing this. Do you think, let me ask you a simple question, do you think that the US are only there for consular services? And they've opened, it's a massive building that rises above, right into the sky. It's going to be about surveillance. And this at the point at which we are talking about self-determination for the Middle Beltans, for Igbos, for Yorubas, even for the Hausas. You can see the focus of what the US is doing. And I want us to be very alert, very aware that they know what is going on. They are there to suppress anything we're doing in terms of raising the alarm and going for self-determination. So that goes as a segue into this issue of Afghanistan. And one more thing I would like to add. When the US were leaving Afghanistan, I played the videos. They were destroying their equipment. Did you hear me? they were destroying. There's videos of the US destroying their equipment in Afghanistan as they had to hurriedly leave. So when they invest in this thing, what do you think they will do? Do you think they will leave these things if things go pear-shaped? Something for us to look at. I don't know. So carry on.
I mean, it could cut two ways, right? It could cut two ways, and I'm not going to arbitrarily say that there's something nefarious. It could also cut that, by establishing that they are going to support the indigenous people because they are supporting Ukraine.
But they haven't supported. They haven't supported us.
I am not going to say anything, but I have been. We have been tweeting at Secretary Blinken.
Yeah.
That had the audacity to remove Nigeria, where all the indexes are talking about the fact that the most place that Christians are being persecuted is in Nigeria, and he removes them from the religious infringement list. Secretary Blinken, we have asked you, where is your support?
That's
Where is your support? So we have been tweeting at the Senate GOP, the Senate Democrats and the U.S., the House GOP, the House Democrats, telling them to pay attention. Telling them to pay attention because this is going on.
Yeah, it is.
And it's very dangerous. So I'm just flashing some information as we're going along, and any one of you can flash information. It's just so that we can understand what's going on, right? We talked about the economic stagnation. Yeah. Cows eat farm produce.
Yeah.
Then herdsmen kill 390 and injure 37 in just one domain.
Exactly.
AY?
Yes.
I want to side with Jane on her position and analysis of that initiative. It could go both ways, and just like her, take a positive spin to it. First of all, the United States is in a between a rock and a hard place when it comes to African issues because of its relationship with the United Kingdom, who is the overt perpetrator, the initiator and perpetrator of all these evils. The United States historically defers all African issues, in particular West Africa, to Great Britain unless there's a crisis. We don't have a crisis right now, by their definition.
Well, yeah,
we have a problem.
But we do. We all know that we do, right?
For right now, we have a problem. According to them, we know we have a crisis. So they're not able to intervene now. But just like Jean said, the fact that they're opening the largest consulate, and I hope you mean a consulate and not embassy.
Consular.
Okay. Now it does make a difference. Okay. The very fact that they are opening the largest consulate in Lagos in the south may have a very positive sign that they are covertly supporting without coming out.
It's possible. It's possible. But I also want us, if I may I also want us to look at the side of the Chinese in all of this. So there is some sort of geopolitical thing being played on the ground.
Let's talk about that on a different day. But
I'm just saying as a side issue. But anyway, but you're right.
Absolutely. But that has to be a conversation.
The central issue remains. So thank you very much for that interjection, sir. Because we do have to look at everything in the round and not just have one view. So I welcome that. Let's just
Citizen AY, take us to number 7 because that's a big one.
Yeah,
that's a huge
that's the one I'm trying to bring up. Modupe, do you have it there, or should I do it this end?
Modupe, you can, if you want to show it up, that'd be great too.
Okay, so I have it. I think I have it. Okay, number 7. So they install a Fulani president so as to bring in as many foreign Fulani as possible, a citizen of Nigeria. So that is what they did in the electoral amendment. In the electoral amendment, they did 36 and 38. 36 was to allow the government to automatically make any Fulani to become a Nigerian. 30,
Yes.
I think, is it 36? And I think it's the other, one or the other, 26, 36
Yeah,
and 38.
I think 36 is where they want to change the state indigent.
That's
So
correct, yeah.
all those terrorists in the
exactly.
forest will now become Nigerian citizens.
Indeed.
That is not a laughing matter.
So,
okay?
and that is a worry.
Matter.
So that is a real worry to actually have a Fulani president. And now one more thing I wanted to add. They also made this very clear when General Abu or something, or Bu or whatever they call his name, when he came on air and said he can conceive a time when he will see a Boko Haram as the president of Nigeria.
Yeah.
So this all ties in to this idea. And of course, if you say a Fulani terrorist, you know, a Fulani president, a terrorist, a Boko Haram, they are all Fulani. You know, exactly. So there you go. Thank you very much. So, bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to expand the scope of registration by expand the scope of citizenship by registration for related matters. So that is where that's 36. 36 talks about that from that point of view. 38 now goes into indigens, and all of this is tied into the one central aim: occupy our land, take it over, enslave us in our land. We really need to be awake. If you are listening to this and you're a Middle Beltan and you're a Igbo man and you're a Yoruba man and you are busy squabbling amongst yourselves, let me tell you now, newsflash, you cannot achieve this breakaway on your own. All those three areas need to work together. It is as simple as that. The quicker we get that, and the killings are ramping up rapidly.
Yes, they
ramping up rapidly.
They are.
And they're following the time scale that late Dr. Malafia exposed. They're following that. He said in 2022, and we are in 2022, and look at the killings going on. How can you say that you have a safe country when the rail tracks are not safe? People, you are trying to go from one place to another on a train. You should expect, they said that the train they had bulletproof windows. Well, that was soon exposed. There was no bulletproof. People were shot, and they said they had some personnel on there. They were overpowered. How can you tell us to believe in one Nigeria when people's lives are in their mouth, literally? The indigenous people's lives. So we are saying to you all, this is not a game. When we come and bring this information to you and to reiterate the subtle changes that they're making, the deadly changes they're making to an already fraudulent constitution, which we want to bring down at all costs via a referendum, we are making you aware of what needs to be done in each and every indigenous area, from the Middle Belt to the South, all of us combined, working together urgently. We need to make sure that we've got organized in place right now vigilante groups across the Middle Belt and the South. As a matter of course, that should be a daily plan. This is a way of actually engaging our many unemployed youths that the government have deliberately prevented from getting jobs. Let me give you an example. In Kogi, there are 3 billion tons of iron ore. Listen, in Itakpe, is it Itakpe? I think it's Itakpe, a place called Itakpe. They have 3 billion tons of iron ore. And it is one of the largest in the world. Yet we are busy importing cars. So you can see that this is a deliberate government plan to keep us enslaved, impoverished, whilst they take the land. So the time is for us now to really wake up. And we will not relent. We are urging you, wake up. Please join us. Each and every one of you listening to this broadcast, you have a role to play, and you must play your part. There is no one single person that can get us out of this grief that they're putting on it, this genocidal tendencies of the Fulanis. But our collective effort will put a firm full stop to it if we work collectively together. The time is now. We need to work sharp. And again, to reiterate, They want to install a Fulani president. That's why you can see now that both the PDP and APC, they are reluctant to tell you exactly who is going to be the president.
Absolutely.
They are reluctant because they want to make sure, because they now know, and what they are fully aware of is that many of us in the South and Middle Belt are waking up. So we're not going to vote for them like that. So what they're trying to do is to install a Fulani president, come what may. So we need to wake up. So I'll throw the floor open.
Or a stooge.
A stooge. Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
let's take a look.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's take a look at some of the headlines.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. That is true. Oshiba Joe and others, and I mean, they're trying to prevent Tinubu getting in there.
Let's talk about Tinubu.
Yeah,
right?
Tinubu is well. I mean, he's
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's and Dele Momo, Momodu. Exactly. I'm glad you laughed because I find it laughable that these people they are quick to talk and tell us, oh yes, we can be the president, we can, but people are being killed every day. How can you talk about elections when the lives of the people who are going to be voting are being taken on a daily basis? How? Somebody needs to explain that to us. Somebody needs to explain that to us. So
you know what? Speaking of that topic about what you just said right now, that that the people who they are expecting to vote for them, that you're taking their lives, they are not expecting them to vote for them.
No, I know.
No, they already have the numbers. They have everything planned.
Exactly.
They already have the numbers. They already know who is going to who is going to emerge as winners, even before the elections start.
It's already been determined,
so our
selected.
People, and this is what I'm saying to our people, right? Indigenous Nigerians, that please don't be fooled that you should go and get PVCs and go and be voting, because what you're doing is you're legitimizing what is illegitimate. What you're doing is you are actually giving them, you are legitimizing their fraudulent acts. That's what you're doing, because they do not have any legs to stand on right now. Let me tell you why. Because the 1914 whatever that amalgamation that was not even initiated by our people happened because some foreign people decided that we should all be together, right? That was the 100 years contract that ended in 2014. So technically we do not have a Nigeria, really. Exactly. But what these people they're doing is that they're saying, yes, we know that we don't have the amalgamation ended, but in 1999, there was a democratic process fraud. There was a democratic process.
Everybody knows that was not a democratic process.
Hold on, that gives us the authority to still remain in power. So if you now go and get the PVCs, what are you doing? No, you are legitimizing the 1999 Constitution, which is a fraud, total fraud, dead on arrival.
Exactly.
With fraud and a total lie. Please do not fall into that. Don't go and get the PVCs, because the PVCs are just, let me tell you, they're just there to get you.
Very good.
So let's talk about what happened.
They don't have it. I just want to add that.
Okay.
But I also
what having a Fulani president is actually doing for them, right? Let's talk about that, right?
Okay.
All right. Can anyone tell me when the Fulani herdsman has been prosecuted?
Never.
Never. Not in any history. I was going to say not in recent history.
Boko Haram, supposedly, we see repentant Boko Haram, right? Who are not prosecuted. This really steams me. 4 million people displaced from their land. And and all they have to do is say, I'm sorry, and then they get trained and they get jobs in the Nigerian army, while the victims are living in squalor.
Indeed.
In IDP camps. Their families destroyed, children made orphans, their farms taken over.
Yeah, it's
so El Rufai in Kaduna, how many of those displaced from their land have you taken back to their land and removed their Fulani kinsmen? How many? Buhari, how many? Buhari, have you gone to visit the IDP camps? Have you put up any structure since the 2012 when they started?
No. No way.
What have you done for the victims that you're taking care of the perpetrators? Nigerian lawmakers.
Well, they're not listening to us.
Whose interests are you serving? There are the victims in the IDP camps. What are you doing for them? What are you doing for them? Now we have people lining up. They're lining up to be president, to be governors, to be whatever else, right? They're all lining up.
Yeah.
Nigerian citizens. These crop of politicians don't have your interest at heart. You ask anyone that wants your vote, ask them the question. Do you support ending the 1999 Constitution? Yes or no? And if it's a no, they're dead on arrival.
Indeed. Indeed.
Do you support rescinding Ruga and rescinding all citizenship given to people who are non-Nigerians under that Ruga, which is a colonization act?
Yeah.
Do you support it? Yes or no? Are you going to stand and say that this new amendment number 38 that has put it into play, the 36 and 38, must go? In fact, once we eliminate the Constitution, we don't have any problem with that.
No, exactly.
Yeah. And this is the biggest litmus test. Are they going to slash their salaries by 90% so that citizens will live?
Yeah.
That's the one. If any of them do not stand for cutting their bloated pay that is driving 100 million into poverty, all this class of politicians must go. All of them.
Yeah.
If they don't stand for it. Because I'm going to show you.
And again, if I may just add.
Go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
If I may just add, and if any of the politicians tells you that you should elect them first, and they will help you get your region back.
It's a lie.
A lie. It's not going to happen. They are going to keep you. Remember that in 2015 they lied to you. They said that that they're going to bring in infrastructure. They're going to bring in healthcare. They're going to solve terrorism in 6 months. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, all of them.
They said that terrorism will be gone in 6 months. Well, guess what? It got worse. So do not listen to them. They are lying to you. If they tell you that, let's just get it, let's vote a Yoruba man in, or let's vote a Igbo man in, and then we'll figure out how, how we'll return Nigeria. No, it's a lie. It's not going to happen. Please, guys, do not fall for the trick.
Do not. No, do not.
And I want to add too, on installing a Fulani president. I actually have something on the screen. 4 Fulani. Remember, you were talking about 4 Fulani presidents in.
We've got. I've got the names here. I've got their names here. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to.
I think I also have something.
Mojepe, you have something else up. You had shared it before, but you took it down.
What is that? What is that?
The 4 presidents in West
Africa.
Yes,
I do. Yes, I have.
Again, they're not indigenous to West Africa.
They're not.
This is the conquest we're talking about. It's not just about Nigeria.
Yeah. It is,
because they have installed, they have 4 presidents in West Africa. Wake up, West Africa.
That's it. Yeah.
Wake up.
There you go. So Macky Sall.
Okay. So it starts. The tribe called Fulani is among the most populous tribe in Africa. The Fulanis are scattered.
Famous. They're not populous. Famous.
No.
Because famous. Sorry. Popular.
Yeah.
When they go to a country, they call all the other people from.
I take that back.
Yes, they're not.
I take that back. Actually, I was looking at the words, but something else was. They are not populous. No, absolutely not. So forgive me for that. So I'll start again. A tribe called Fulani is among the most famous tribe in Africa. Yeah, famous for bad stuff. Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
The Fulanis are scattered in many African countries, especially in West Africa. They are more in number in Nigeria, Cameroon, Senegal, Niger, Mali, and Guinea. The Fulani language is called Fula. But here's the deal. In today's publication, I'll be showing you 4 current presidents in West Africa that are Fulani by tribe. So Macky Sall, president of Senegal. So the main picture here is showing the president of Senegal. This was back in 2012. He was born in 1961. He was among the 5 people born to a well-known Fulani man in Senegal. So the second person is Adama Barrow, president of Gambia. Adama Barrow is not just a politician, but also a real estate developer. He was born in 1965. He's the third president of Gambia.
You see.
Okay. Umaro
Sissoko
Embalo, president of Guinea, Guinea-Bissau.
Yeah.
He is the current president of Guinea-Bissau. He was born on the 23rd day of September 1972. He served as the country's prime minister for 2 years between 2016 and 2018. He's a member of the Fulani ethnic group. His beloved mother is Malian. So this is another one. Buhari, Muhammadu Buhari, president of Nigeria. Look at him. This is him right here.
He's overlooking the cows.
Yeah, exactly.
The indigenous people.
He is the current Nigerian president. He was elected as the president in 2015, and in 2019, he was re-elected after defeating another Fulani politician named Atiku Abubakar. He was born to a Fulani family on 17 December 1942 in Daura, Katsina State. His father was a Fulani chief, Malam Ado Adamu, and his beloved mother, Sulayat Welcome Buhari. His father died when he was just 4. But anyway, to cut long story short, Buhari is a Fulani man. And we see, how well he has implemented the Fulani agenda from the 2015 that he was elected up till today. We have not found peace in Nigeria. He promised that he was going to bring peace, but he brought
war.
He brought war. He promised that he was going to stop, Boko Haram and terrorism and insurgency. Guess in 6 months from 2015. This is 2022, right? We have not known peace. Insurgency has actually, is the order of the day in Nigeria. Genocide is what is ruling in Nigeria under his watch.
Exactly.
And he promised that he was going to bring peace. Guys, please wake up. This man promised that he is going to fight corruption.
Corruption.
Yes, but believe me, his administration is one of the most corrupt administration in Nigerian history. They are looting with impunity in Nigeria as we speak. So let nobody tell me that Buhari means well for Nigeria or means well for indigenous people, because his plan is to Fulanize and to Islamize Nigeria.
Yes.
And we need to wake up.
Yes.
So let's talk about more of the things that have happened, right? 100 billion was paid to Miyetti Allah to stop kidnapping. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is crazy.
And as we have seen, no Fulani man has been prosecuted.
And you know what?
And
he is the grand patron of Miyetti Allah.
Yeah.
A terrorist organization that has actually when the governor of Benue State was attacked, they came out and claimed responsibility.
Absolutely.
And the president, the sitting president, is the grand patron of such organizations. And yet Miyetti Allah has not been branded a terrorist organization.
So when FONAM, which is the Fulani Unification, blah, 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 it threatened Governor Otham, where was Buhari? To round them up and put them in jail, or to condemn what they said. Where was Buhari?
No.
And what did he say? Oh, it's because that they're not giving them land. You want people to give their land to you for free. And if they don't, you're going to kill them. And in fact, they had issued another threat to the folks in Benue, that if they don't give up, this was as of, yes, let me show this. Guys, and yet we have, quote unquote, a president of the majority of Nigerians who is only catering to cows and cow herders.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. I do not understand.
Yeah.
This is as of March 14, 2022. Nigeria,
Yeah.
Herdsman ultimatum to Benue indigents, prelude to repeat of 2018 massacre. This is what having a Fulani president gives them. This is the plan.
Indeed.
It gives them cover. It gives them cover. I think this is a good time to play the T.Y. Danjuma video, and then we can move on to number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think this is a good time to remind people about what is actually going on, so that they know what's actually going on, because he laid it out clearly for everyone to hear and to understand.
It's yeah.
Volume.
Sorry. Let me start again. I had my my thing
muted.
Sorry. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me pull it back.
Okay, that's fine.
That's okay.
No problem.
Don't mind. Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah,
so let's just watch that, because I think, all the things we're talking about is like the what it gives them, because this constitution, right? This fraudulent amendment to a fraudulent constitution, right? That was rushed in. And yet to go to referendum,
to this guy,
we have not been able to manage that, right? It hasn't even come up on their list, right? Because we're called secessionists, and that's a good segue into number 8. We're going to talk about all the things that they say, right? Go ahead.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
But the peace in this state is under assault. There's an attempt at ethnic cleansing.
You might want to raise the volume.
In this state, and of course,
in the river.
Let me see if I can get mine. I have to take. Hold on. Let me put my volume on. All right. Start again. I'm going to start again.
But the peace in this state is under assault. There's an attempt at ethnic cleansing in this state, and of course, in all the riverine states of Nigeria. We must resist it. We must stop it. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits that kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
A word to the wise.
Wow.
A word to the wise.
That's very, very, very touching. I'm telling you.
So when you think,
go ahead.
So when you hear those words, you start imagine what happened on the Kaduna Abuja train. Imagine. They actually carried out those chilling words. They bombed the train tracks. They took out their guns. They chased people. They killed the people. They literally went in and started shooting. Apparently, somebody was saying that they were calling and saying, do you have a family from the government? And they were picking up those people and abducting, and some of them being killed. So it seems like it is a targeted planning. This is, we're hearing that some people, the Farida doctor, she's the daughter to one of the PDP member, not PDP, Relation Party, People Relation Party, PRP member, the Dr. Chinelo was killed, Megafu, I think it is, and there are other people there that were killed. So that is exactly what he said, one by one. So for how long are we going to be silent while this is happening? For how long?
So
I ask my people to wake up. Yeah, please do go ahead. Go ahead, Jane.
Yeah, I just wanted to show, talked about, Lafayette talked about how they were bringing them in during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We actually documented a lot of these from the immigration offices of the states.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
In this particular one, Cross River, 500 northern men smuggled in container during COVID-19 lockdown.
There you
and
go.
there was every single state from the middle belt to the south, the southeast, the south, the southwest, all had this going on during the lockdown.
Exactly.
And so we're sharing this with our people so that they understand that this is planned. This
Invasion.
is not just random.
No.
This is planned.
Deliberate.
Yes.
Orchestrated.
Yes. And so during the lockdown, all that we're doing, and we heard it from the Milafia, right? I think it was Milafia that said it. Or was it? Yeah, it was Milafia that said it.
It was.
Yeah, this is what was going on at that time. Okay. And there's tons and tons and tons and tons of data that we have gathered on exactly what they were doing during that time. We had these young people called Almajiris who supposedly are poor, and they were being smuggled into the middle belt to the south, right? At a time, who are they going to be begging from?
Well,
everybody's indoors. And they had none of their malams or anything with them. They were just, and we also have seen the report by independent international organizations that these kids are child killers.
Yeah, indeed.
They're not Almajiri. And then the young men, they said that they were escaping from poverty, but where they came from, COVID was less.
Yeah.
And these young men were buffed. None of them spoke Nigerian languages.
No.
All these Almajiri, none of them spoke Nigerian languages. And they were smuggling them in Dangote trucks, even though Dangote said that they were not his trucks, but it was Dangote drivers, right?
Yeah. It is.
And they were smuggling them in vans, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of them streaming in during COVID.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, what we're trying to do here is to just bring this all together. So let's move on to number 8, because number 8 is part of what we've been talking about, right? We looked at the press conference that Osabanjo gave about the Kaduna attack.
Yeah.
We look at all the things that have been talked about. Ruga, right, was called pasteurization.
Yes.
Right? So number 8 is distort all the narrative and convince the world that this is herder-farmer conflict and nothing more than what is driven by climate change. So the question I have for the world, I'm going to ask this question and I'm going to open it up for discussion, is how is it possible that people who don't own any land can justify killing the owners of the land, and Buhari government allows them to continue to carry guns and have not issued an order that every single one of them must disarm
exactly.
else?
It is shocking.
Opening it up to everyone for conversation. False narrative. Stephen.
It is possible, because if you go back to the Madam Fodio,
there's the statement: Nigeria shall be our grandfather's estate.
Exactly.
And we shall
we are considered
conquered territory.
People.
Conquered territory. Yeah.
The Futajalon Manifesto.
Yeah.
Yes. We are conquered territory and conquered people. So what we are looking at as atrocities, to them are not atrocities. To them, they are rightful acts to their conquered people. And that's why they do the things they do with impunity.
Yeah.
Now, the other coin the other side of that answer of how is it possible? It is possible because they, you see, the way they've worked, they started off in the early 1800s with a religious war. They won it in the north and conquered the north. Then, because they couldn't conquer the rest of the nation, they embarked on the second plan, which is a political war. It took them almost 30 years, okay? They won the political war and took over the whole political landscape of Nigeria. But still, they don't have the rest of the people. So they tried another political war to win the South. That failed.
Mm-hmm.
That failed. Now, because that failed, they embarked on an economic war, closing the borders, just like Dr. Dupa was alluding to. All along the way, they've used semblances of economic war, like giving monopoly
Mm-hmm.
to Dangote and making the global community think that Dangote is a business genius. No. It's the conquest of the Fulani that allowed him
Absolutely.
to have monopoly over all the key commodities of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Because before Dangote, when we were growing up, we had a Ewekoro cement factory that provided, cement in abundance. We had a Inkalagu cement factory in the east.
Benue cement in the middle
exactly.
of
all over.
Yes.
At I wouldn't even say competitive, at very affordable prices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, we can't do that now because the monopoly has been given to a Fulani man. Exactly.
And jobs have been lost by
Absolutely.
the indigents.
So because they've conquered us, the rest of us that they could not conquer, they will economically enslave us into submission. And that's how it's been possible. And because of that, and they are giving crumbs to our elected leaders,
yes,
the elected leaders have become complicit in helping them to fulfill the agenda. Mm-hmm. And that's why it is possible. And we're not fighting. People need to recognize we're not fighting to prevent them from conquering us. No, they have already conquered us. We're just fighting now to regain our freedom from them.
Exactly, that we lost in 1966.
We are trying to prevent them.
Yes.
We're just lying to ourselves.
Yes.
And there's no truth in us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Modupe, could you please put up that the sayings, the Buhari sayings, because I think that there's some that we need to talk about. You know, the Boko Haram statement that's been attributed to him, and then his position on Sharia, which we already know. Boko Haram members should be pampered and given VIP treatment, not killed. It's injustice to kill them. And we see Sheikh Gumi, right, justifying their actions, saying that they need guns to protect their cows. But humans are being killed by the guns that are supposed to be protecting their cows. And we never see, they say it's a reprisal. Well, show us the hundreds of thousands of Fulanis that have been killed.
Exactly.
And by the way, let me ask this question. Where was the farm at the Kaduna airport or on the train from Kaduna to Abuja? Can somebody help me find the farm there? What about the attack at the military bases? Where was the farm then?
Mm-hmm.
So this false narrative that the West is also carrying. And I CNN, I've sent them a tweet, CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera English, Times of Israel, Irish Times. Can you honestly tell me that the cattle rearers in your country go to the farms and yank up produce and feed their cows and shit all over your roads and in your homes, and you're okay with it? And by the way, investigative reporters around the world, farming is big business in Nigeria. Yep. And the people are buying the land. Why are the Fulanis not purchasing large enough land to roam their cattle freely in that area.
They want it for free.
And not insist on destroying the middle belt. I mean, they're destroying, they are cleansing, they're doing ethnic cleansing of the middle belt, and now they've moved to the southeast, the southwest, and soon we'll probably see them in the south because that's the MO of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And again, we're just stating the facts. So let's talk a little bit more about this false narrative. Ruga. Let's talk about Ruga. Can we please see that again? And I promise, Madupe, as you have seen, I have calmed down since after I resaw it after a while, and I just lost my mind. I did lose my mind because it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
To hear just the
audacity
slime coming out so easily. How that this was about pasteurization.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
This was about pasteurization that would help the Nigerian economy. Yes, help the Nigerian economy to be the worst in the world. It's help the Nigerian economy to be starving over 50% of its citizens, of the indigents. Right? You can go ahead with the thing where he's talking about pasteurization, and then he asked him, "Well, is foreign Fulani going to benefit?" Oh, yeah. Don't you know? The Fulanese are misunderstood. You can't tell them apart from around the world. They're all citizens of Nigeria. So I am calling on the president of Gambia to resign immediately because he's a Nigerian. I'm calling on the president of Guinea-Bissau to resign immediately because he's a Nigerian.
Yes.
And the president of what was the other one? What was
Guinea-Bissau?
Gambia.
Guinea-Bissau.
Resign immediately because they are Nigerians and not from those places. At least let us save those countries, and then we can come back to saving Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right? No, I was looking for the video.
Which
but
one?
It does say here, foreign Fulani herders will benefit from Ruga initiative, right? How does that relate to pasteurization? And he said they wanted to gather. Please put up that video because we have
Jane.
So I want to be clear. Which video are you referencing? So I pull the right one. Which one are you talking about?
That one, that video that of
Mohammed Bala.
Mohammed.
Yes, that's the one I had on.
So Stephen, please talk to us.
Oh, I just wanted
this narrative here is unbelievable.
It is so
I
shocking.
just wanted to add that when those presidents resign their offices in those countries and return to Nigeria, they should please bring along all the Yoruba citizens in those countries to come and populate, and pasteurize Nigeria, which is their home country because they're all Nigerians.
We've got Igbos in Cameroon, right? Remember they took Igbos
Absolutely.
in Cameroon.
They should bring them along.
Why is it that it's only the Fulanis that have been brought in and the government is paying 80%? Federal government is going to give them 80%. And the state 20%, but farmers have received nothing. The narrative here is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Pasteurization is what they call it, when colonization is what it is.
Yeah.
Struggles every day. He has a murder.
It's crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
That's why we're talking about these things, indigenous Nigerians, ancestral owners of the land, the people that we're talking about, right? Ancestral owners of the land. Dr. Carey had talked about, the MO that they carry out too, right? The rapes and the, and etc. to bring in Fulanese into an area that they're going to be conquering, which, we know happened in northern Nigeria. But let's listen to this, please, carefully.
To accommodate Fulani men who are not Nigerians. You see, as I said, we're already accommodating them. You delineate and then really know who is not a Fulani man from Nigeria? They are all Nigerians.
Man.
Because I
My
said
goodness.
their identity.
The more you hear it, the more my head just...
I know, I have to breathe.
My head just...
all over the world. all over
the more I wish I had an AK-47 and
smuggling
close
in
the
Nigeria.
No, sir. There's don't. They might.
I'm sorry.
I understand what you mean. Yes, please.
Yes.
All the parts of the country.
I understand.
Thank you.
So I understand your sentiments, so I do.
Yes.
But
my apology.
That's okay. Yeah. No problem. Sir.
Yes, let us. We need the people to hear.
Sorry.
You want me to start again?
Yeah.
Just go back a little bit.
Just go back a little bit. Sorry.
I mean, we're talking about narrative.
Yeah.
So you can see how this is just rolling off his tongue. This lies is just rolling off his tongue. Oh,
barefaced lies. Barefaced.
To understand that this is to save them and their animals. They are exposed to the vagaries of the forest and what is going on, cattle rustling, killings and what have you, and that's why it is important for them to understand that staying in one place is good. And of course, in terms of the best practice of carrying the meat, the cows, and
let's stay with that security angle for a bit. Is there going to be this plan going to be a fenced and enclosure where anyone who comes in is secured, so there is no one that can just come in from anywhere else?
No. It is going to be a colony, and a colony does not require a fence.
You will understand the reason.
It is.
You understand the reason why people are concerned because of all the security
It
issues.
just rolls out. It's a colony.
These forests are there anyway. If you don't occupy them and create a colony out of them, they create places for the criminals. And today, that's why you
colony criminals, you mean?
Yes, it's not being utilized.
Okay, let's be clear.
Much as yes, I mean.
So when do we begin? I mean, when have we got into a position where we will now be empathizing with criminals and be saying, oh, we need to give them what they want. We need to create this for them. So does it mean that, like an armed robber, you just need to make sure that you equip your home with the things that the armed robber, wants, so that he or she will not come and hurt you, right? Just give them what you have,
But why is this only for Fulani who are not indigenous to Nigeria, who don't own land? They have no ancestral land in Nigeria. Why is this just for Fulani?
We have met a lot of them who are Fulanis as well. But the concern too is, why should federal government use resources for this country to accommodate?
They can't answer that question, can they?
You see, as I said, we're already accommodating them.
It's crazy.
Do you delineate and then really know who is not a Fulani man from Nigeria? They are all Nigerians. Because I said their identity,
can you please
their
stop
own
there?
citizenship.
Can you please stop there?
Yeah, I know. It's just too much garbage. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. Because let me just pull up again the the Buhari. What was the Buhari? Remember, I'm trying to pull that one up because we have to be able to show what's actually the sleight of hand that these people are carrying out here, because it is preposterous.
It is honestly barefaced looting of our.
Where that one is now.
It's crazy.
Let's see. Aha. Let me show this because I think it's important for us to understand what they're doing here.
Indeed.
It is very important for us to understand what they're doing here. Okay. There it is. That was in 2019. In 2021, we showed this before. Fulani herdsmen with AK-47s killing in Nigeria are from Mauritania, Central Africa Republic, Buhari.
Yeah.
And yet, he's telling us that they're all Nigerians, and so they deserve Nigerian citizenship and the use of Nigerian money to settle them, while the farmers and the professors and the vulcanizer get nothing.
Yeah.
80% by the government. Another way you can continue. I just wanted to put that side by side so our people can actually see what is going on with this false narrative. Okay? So let's look at that, and then we'll move on to the false narrative of one Nigeria. I think that's probably be the one that we'll end on, and then we'll continue part 3 next week. So let's take a look at the rest of what he had to say, and then we'll continue.
Oh, continue with the video?
Yes, continue with the video, yes. Because that video is important that people understand what it is. And that's one that, you know, obviously we've talked about that we have to translate into all the languages so that our people can see it both in print and can actually hear it as well, being translated, so that they understand exactly what Ruga is. It's not pasteurization. It's not about, it's about colonization.
Indeed.
It's about forcibly taking ancestral lands for people without paying for it. And
Indeed.
It's about the government taking money from indigenous Nigerians to give to foreign Fulani, driving over 50% of Nigerian citizens into poverty.
Indeed.
Let's continue.
All over Africa. And so presumably they are Nigerians.
They're not Nigerians. They're fraudsters.
Presumably.
Misunderstanding.
Presumably.
They move from one place to the other, and they have relations, kith and kins in all the parts of the country and even outside the country. So that's why our own population is fluid. We cannot
fluid. Their population is fluid. Yeah, came from one country, go conquer another, and then repeat.
You know what I'd like to say here?
Okay, we can end here so that we can go on to. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm really trying. You have to admit it.
Okay.
I'm really
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine.
What I would like to say.
I actually paused it so that we can hear what.
it in today. I am
not. No, it's fine. I paused it so that we can hear what people's comments. That's why I paused it.
What I'd like to say quickly, briefly here is to please notice that they've opened the borders in the north are open. And the borders in the south are closed. And they are telling us that we are all one Nigeria. But they are letting the Fulanese coming in from the north and closing the borders against the southerners from coming in from the south. That's your one Nigeria.
Exactly.
In case you don't understand. So
is one Nigeria just Fulani?
Then,
when did one Nigeria, and again, the next topic is one Nigeria, because that's a false narrative that has to be debunked.
Indeed.
When did one Nigeria mean Fulani? I love his faces when he's looking at him during this interviews. When did one Nigeria mean the use of Nigerian indigenous people's assets that was captured under the 68 exclusive items and the 30 semi-exclusive, which is, by all means, whatever.
The same thing. It's the same thing.
How is it now that it's being taken from the indigens to give to foreign Fulani under this false narrative that Ruga is pasteurization, when it is colonization, genocide, and ethnic cleansing? Are you listening to me, lawmakers from the middle belt to the south? If you say that you did not know it before, you know it now. Okay, other comments?
We've not heard from Infinix Note 10. Could you make a few comments, please? We've not heard from you for a while. Could you join us, please? Infinix Note 10. I'm not quite sure who the name is.
Could you possibly change your information?
And if you show your face as well. So we would have a name, it'd be good.
Camera.
Would you be able to comment? He's still with us, but I'm not sure. Oh, he's left. Oh, okay. All right then. Let's have a look at this.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, carry on. Oh no, it's still there. It's still there, but I don't know if he wants to talk. Would you?
No,
do you
that's
want?
Okay. Let's just continue talking about it, because this false narrative is very important.
Yeah.
It is extremely important. Okay, and unfortunately, I'm trying to look at your background, Citizen AY, to see if it shows what's on top of the undeclared.
I'll bring that forward to you. Let me go. I'll even go one step further. Let me just share the screen. You will see it on the screen now. I'll share that screen right quick. So here you go.
Because we have a couple of other screens that's in the the PowerPoint.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yes.
That is it there. So you can see. I'll move this ones out of the way.
We can see it now. We can see it.
You see that now. So it says here: stop Fulani undeclared war going on in Nigeria. Over 400,000 people killed. 400,000 people killed, 400,000 refugees, over 4 million displaced. These are things that are astonishing. To even just reading the list and mouthing the lists alone is horrifying. It is
and it's
absolutely
increasing every day.
Yeah.
It's increasing every
single
day. Under this false narrative of herder farmer conflict.
Yeah.
Under this false narrative of bandits. Under the false narrative of kidnappers. Under the false narrative that Ruga is about pasteurization.
Indeed.
And yet all we've been talking about is colonization.
Indeed.
The colonies. It is giving away Nigerian citizenship to any and all Fulani terrorists that care to come in. Right? And it is taking Nigeria money that belongs to the indigenous Nigerians to give to foreign non-Nigerian Fulani.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And cascading our people into poverty.
It is shocking. Shocking.
That's what Ruga is.
We need
false narrative.
Totally false. We need to be very, very clear about what is being done here and really speak the truth to power. Let me just change that. I wanted to just show that so people could see it here.
You have to tell the truth and shame the devil.
Yes. So we are busy. We are just really trying to make sure that we understand the level of depravity, the level of injustice, the genocide that we are facing. Over 400,000, like we stated, 400,000, killed, 400,000 refugees, over 4 million displaced in IDP camps, internally displaced camps, over 9 million at risk of poverty, over 90 million in abject poverty. The list goes on. And we want you all, when we're sharing these messages with you, please take it on board. Don't act on it. You need to act on this. We need to collectively act on it because we are all impacted by what is being done by the Fulanis, who are non-indigenous to our nation, to our ancestors. They are non-indigenous to our land, and they are oppressing us, suppressing us in our land. And those collaborators amongst us who are working with them, shame on them. Shame on them. Shame on them. I'll let others come in. Infinix, if you want to have a chat, do go so. Go ahead. My elder, Faliti, if you want to have a chat, please go ahead as well. And Dr. Modupe, go ahead, please, if you want to add something to this.
Yes, actually there are like two other slides before this one that actually are very picture. I mean that displays, they display the some of this evil administrations actions and whatever implementations of their evil plan. So I'm going to flash those on the on here. I'll flash those quickly and then we can just and I believe here. So I'm going to start from this one.
Okay, good. Yes.
Sure. Actually, let me go up. Before, yes, this starting from here. And we can see how the in a very cunning way, you see this green, look at this large green area. They made it look like, oh, okay, well, Nigeria, is predominantly, I mean, you see how we have all of these green colored spaces, connote that they are a majority, right? Because even, I mean, like what this picture is saying is that even when you pull all of the other regions together, they are not equal to the size of the north.
But that is a great point, because that's why Nigeria was not meant to be one.
Exactly.
So no group would dominate the other.
The other.
We'll be talking about that next with the one Nigeria. But this here is the huge reason where Nigeria was supposed to be various nations in an EU kind of an arrangement. The Union of Nigeria, the Federation is supposed to actually have nations in it. If not, it's not a federation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this also shows that, right, Madhupa, because let's see, I had the thing in the background, where we showed, the emerging nations, the Nina's view of the emerging nations that shows the Yoruba nation, it shows the lower Niger, and then it shows the middle belt, and then the far north as being, those, if you look at it from that perspective, those nations that need to emerge, right? There are other folks that talk about geopolitical, the 6 geopolitical zones, to be nations. But one thing is clear. Everyone should be clear that with the makeup of Nigeria, democracy cannot exist. And I think we're now talking about, we're now into what Nigeria cannot exist in this place if it is if it is unitary. Go ahead, Stephen.
Just like you said, democracy cannot exist because, for one thing, democracy can only be sustained by valid constitution.
True.
It was not intended to be a democracy from the word go, because what we call the constitution was a military decree that was slapped with the label constitution on top of it.
Yeah.
Now, trying to translate a military decree to a constitution is like a soldier, a dictator soldier, putting on agbada and traditional cap and calling himself the elected president. We know what is under the agbada, and we know what the ultimate agenda is.
Yeah.
That ultimate agenda is what is driving any and every false narrative that we've been talking about since the beginning of time. And that is set to continue until we either break off as an alliance of nations, or we totally submit to the hegemony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And submission to the hegemony, we are not. Did you hear that?
Definitely.
We definitely. It's not even an option. But you see, what I also want to tie back to this picture is actually on the right here, where they are saying that northern elders reject power shift to the south. They insist that North will continue in 2023.
Yeah.
Power is in their hands, and this is what we're going through. Can you imagine what you will go through if they renew this again in 2023? God help us. And that's what, and these are the things that we need to be emphasizing and be pointing out to our people.
Yeah.
That don't allow yourself to be that proverbial sheep that will be led to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
Scapegoat.
By now handing the weapon to your attacker. Because what's gonna happen is that when you go and vote again, God help you. And that's what we need to be hammering. We need to be hammering on that.
Yeah.
Do not participate in that. So again, referendum is what we want, and the referendum is to show the path where the indigenous people want to go. Do they want to remain in this evil union, or do we want to go our separate ways? And if we even want to be in a union, let us be the negotiators of the terms of the union. Don't go. Don't come and impose some kind of military decree on us.
It's a fraud.
It's
an imposition.
Please let the people have
Decide.
a say about themselves, be able to determine their self-determination. That's what I'm trying to be able to identify, what they want, how they want to be governed. And if they want, police to be in their locality, or they want police to be, at their state level, but not at the federal level.
Yeah.
Well,
I just use that as an example. But
no, wait, because but Dupe, that is a good point, right?
Yeah.
Because in that amendment, They want the local government to now go straight to the president.
Exactly.
Aha. So now we're really tightening the noose on this.
Exactly.
Fraudulent narrative of one Nigeria. So guys, let's talk about one Nigeria, right? We have the map that says we were not meant to be one. Yes, a union.
Yeah.
But not one indivisible, indissoluble. That was not meant to be Nigeria because that cannot work. Democracy cannot work when one group already has a number or claims to have a number. That would now subjugate
the rest
everybody else to their continuous rule. Northern elders reject power shift. And not just that, it gives them, in their view, the power to select who becomes and when they become president outside of the area. That was not Nigeria. That is not one Nigeria. That is unitary Nigeria. It is a fraudulent narrative. And our people need to understand that. Our young people are talking about one Nigeria. Oh, we need to stay one. Yes, we were one between 1960 and 1966 in a union of independent
nations.
Yes, absolutely. And you know,
our young people do not know this.
No, true.
And you know, somebody pointed out something earlier. I think it must have been Citizen AY. That when the Kaduna train was attacked, that they were actually asking passengers in there if they are related to politicians, right? And they were taking them away. You see what politicians? You guys are turning a blind eye. Let me tell you, it's coming closer and closer to your door.
Monica, can you please bring up the lady pastor, because there was a letter that she was reading.
Yes,
right?
I have that.
Yes,
I have that.
Yes, because that's a good segue into that. But Stephen, let's talk about unitary Nigeria as a false narrative, because our young people who have been denied access to the true history of Nigeria need to understand the difference between the Nigeria of 1960 to 1966 and the Nigeria of today, the unitary Nigeria of today, under the fraudulent 1999 Constitution. Please help us with this unitary false narrative.
You know, the unitary false narrative actually took its inception from the so-called federation, because when you have a so-called democracy in which one ethnic group has proclaimed itself to be the born to rule, then you know democracy, using the term democracy, is really a facade.
Indeed.
Now, the 60 to 66, well, what we consider the federation was only an appeasement period before the real intent shows up. They just used that period to solidify. There was no intent for federation. If you already believe, you already have the ideology that you are born to rule. The grandfather of the caliphate, Ahmadu Bello, already stated quite affirmatively that we are conquered people. So if we are conquered people and they believe that, and they have the backing of the slave, the colonial slave masters, you know, any and everything that they did will progressively work towards that. So to think that we had something good going before the unitary Nigeria shows up is really not facing the reality of the foundation that was being laid even before we get to where we are today.
Indeed,
yes.
Indeed.
Oh, right. I have this.
Yeah, go ahead. Let us play this for the politicians.
Yes.
By Adamu Mohammed. He even writes his name. He doesn't hide himself. this one is too bold and blunt. Ever since President Muhammad Buhari took over the mantle of leadership of this great country, Nigeria, we Hausa Fulani have come under severe.
That's a false narrative. Hausa Fulani.
Hausa Fulani, thank you.
False narrative.
Thank you.
You know what that means? God has started working among them. He agreed before he get there. But God puts confusion in their midst. But that confusion is not yet okay. We need more. Because it is God that touched him to delay. If not so, you know, our budget. You see how the man delay this, delay that, because the assignment given to him, what Nigeria is expecting is different to the assignment on his table. Some people say the man is slow. The man, no. What he's facing is different to what we are talking. Are you telling me he doesn't have power to control fuel? He has power. But with who? At the time, God will scatter everywhere. Kill all the manager and the director and the company. I will see who employ you. Whether or not the body will come employ you from the grave. At the time, God will scatter everywhere. Kill all the manager and the director and the company. I will see who employ you. Whether or not the body will come employ you from the grave. But let me make something clear to you. Stupid fellow haunting us. Whether you love us or hate us, it doesn't change anything. We are who we are, and we will continue to remain like that. We hate you even more, and we can never love you because you are all evidence. And you know, the people they call evidence, anybody that did not follow, it's an evidence to them. I pity those of you who keep deluding yourself that we can love and trust you, simply because you work against your people to our own advantage.
I'm sorry. Politicians, the Tinubus of this world, I hope you are hearing this.
Imagine that statement. He said he pity those people that they are giving their information, helping them, and supporting them to destroy this nation. He said no matter how you support them, we still hate you.
There you go.
He's talking about you.
Yeah, so I hope they are listening. I hope they are listening.
Batman will be a faithful Muslim. You are still evident to them because you are Yoruba. They say even though you work against your people to our own advantage, yet we hate you. Can you hear that? They are the people that you can't say, you can't beg. That thing called mercy is far away from there. Many of you have this message. You won't forward it to your brothers and sisters. You will keep it to yourself. And you will say it is well with you. It is not well at all anywhere. Nothing is well this time. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. Nothing is well. I imagine if our leader will read this and keep quiet. I heard that the stupid governor of Oyo State, Ajumobi, said that they won't accept the proposed grassy bill. That means they have passed this bill to all governors. Only Oyo State governor rejects it. Among all the governors, only Oyo State governor rejects it. All the remaining governors has accepted. Why? Because it's at the expense of their life. They will try to kill them. They even say that they will bring cow into the church, and if they try to stop them, they will kill you. I will read it now. But my message to that Viti Yoruba big is that if you don't want to give us your coast land, we will rear our cattle not only on your farmland, but in your churches. And if you try to stop us, we will kill your chicken, your added men like rabbits, and then turn your mother's wife, sister, daughter to our sex slave like we have been doing. Say if we bring cow into your church and you try to stop us, we'll kill all the men and we'll turn all the women to sex slaves. You remember he said the land is a cursed land, Yoruba land. Yes, it is cursed. Because one of our fathers caused us that we will never be united. And this is the secret in their hand, that we will never be united. He even said it. He said we are betrayers. Let me read it for you. He said, it is either you give the whole of South to us to use as grazing service, or we soak it with your blood.
Okay, we can end there. We can end there, Majuka. I want to show something. I want to show you guys something because people might have
the
forgotten
whole
about
situation
this.
is
People might have forgotten about this.
Yeah.
2018, Buhari, give up your ancestral land for ranching or die. It is better, he said, to give up your ancestral land or die. How is this a president of the indigenous Nigerians? He is telling you to give up what you have because he is not going to stop these terrorists and his Fulani herdsmen, kinsmen, from killing to take your land. This is what he had to say in 2018.
Well, can I just say something?
People know this. I mean, this is why, you know, these discussions that we have is very important. We need to know what is going on, and we bring it all together for you guys to understand.
And can I just add that this was in 2018, and they elected this man in 2019.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
What is wrong with us?
Well, that no.
Well, that was
Who
it was
has
manipulated.
INEC?
Yeah, manipulation.
Yes.
Manipulation. INEC is really the name of the game. What is his name? Yakubu, whatever his name is the man that was instead of our control of our INEC, and it's the man that's been in there. He oversaw the changeover from the last election to now, and is still the one overseeing what we did 2023. So we shouldn't we need to be very, very clear. This is where like you said, they've already selected. There is no election. It's a selection. There's no election, but selection. So we are urging.
But even the people that are buying, right, is selected.
Selected.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not selected by the people. It's selected by the political elite.
Exactly. Those who.
And there is a political elite that is standing against the indigenous citizens.
Yes.
There is a difference there.
So I mean, I think it is really, really important that we understand what is being done here. We are being given a false narrative to believe that the electoral process is free and fair, and it's nothing but. I state it again. The only true election that has been free and fair remains June 12, 1993. That's it. Everything else has been a falsehood till date, and I stand by that statement. I stand by that statement.
Kind of do a little bit more on this whole statement that was made, right? What Buhari's aide Femi had said about ancestral land.
It's on channels as well, yeah.
Yeah. But over here, it was like what he specifically said was ancestral attachment. You can only have ancestral attachment when you are alive.
Thank you.
If you are talking about ancestral attachment, if you are dead, how does the attachment matter?
Thank you.
What they were saying, they were trying to correct what he said. This is clear what he said.
That's what he said.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a warning. This is what he said. So there isn't any, they're saying that this is, establishing, again, this is a false narrative that we're talking about, right, Ruga? Establishing ranches, using Nigerian money, and bringing in the Fulani to change the demographics of Nigeria. And Mojupe, get that video ready, the one that's changing the demographics of Nigeria. Bringing them in, that's the way to solve it. Let us use this false narrative to bring in this armed Fulani who the Buhari, you need to issue a command that every bandit, every kidnapper, every Fulani herdsman put down their guns in accordance with the laws of the land. You have already taken the guns from the citizens. Take it away from the terrorists and your kinsmen, the Fulani herdsmen. And then we'll know that you're serious. Okay, we'll know that you're serious. Okay, I think it's not this one, another one. The other one. Because these are all the false narratives that we're having to deal with, that has been given, across, it's been given across Nigeria, it's been given across the international space. And so people don't understand what is actually going on. They keep talking about herder farmer conflict. They keep talking about go ahead and play that one, Madupe. That's fine. Go ahead and play that one. Because the other one that talked about the changing the demography. But go ahead and play that one that you came up with. Infinix, yes, you can join the conversation. Go ahead. We're asking you to unmute and join us, but you need to have your name and your picture, my dear, so that you can be shown.
Yeah, go ahead.
Infinix, could you please change to your name?
And let's.
Madupe, go ahead and play this while he's doing that.
It might take time. I don't have a good network.
Oh,
and
okay.
If I do that, I will lose people. I'm not hiding. My name is Engineer Ifeoto. I'm based in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. We'll let you go ahead and speak then. Go ahead, please.
Okay, just a brief. All this you'll be going through. You all try. You're all trying. We are very appreciative. The situation in Nigeria is that, from our own point of view, we have very intelligent people, very educated people, but I can say 99.9% are under spell. And no matter what you say,
very true.
No matter what you say, they hear, they feel the impact. They are saying it, but they are like dummy. The life has been spilled out of people.
Yes.
People, even the Christianity, all the churches and the pastors and the priests, very few are on their normal being. So the whole things don't make sense to them. They are scared to their bone that they cannot even what they call it, change or do a referendum, that it is not possible. They have given up. I am far down in the south here, in Port Harcourt, and I see this in the eyes of people. So they want to say, what magic? How can you do it? They've taken over the entire country. I don't want to.
Yeah.
So that is the feeling of the people. So what we should be looking at now, how do we redeem the people's confidence?
Absolutely.
Possible.
Absolutely.
That is what I wanted to chip in. Thank you very much.
So, those are great points. And I'll let Stephen or Citizen AY or Madupe, let's talk about that, because that's a very important point. Because this false narrative is impacting our people. This false narrative and other things is impacting our people to what he is talking about. He's on the ground. He's at ground zero. It's impacting our people.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
I just wanted to say, they do say that if a lie, aka false narrative persists long enough, it begins to carry the semblance of a truth. But it's still a false narrative.
Exactly.
So the only thing that makes it carry the semblance of a truth is because of its persistence. Maybe we can fight back. We should fight back with the persistence of awareness. Continue to create awareness through education.
Yes.
Using people like my brother here at ground zero to do the work one person at a time. Yeah, you may not be able to change the whole village, but it's the same way that rumors spread. Is the same way that we will dispel false narrative.
Yeah.
And that's when it's not lost, but we're not trying to prevent something from happening. We are trying to undo.
Yeah.
So that means it's a moral imperative to do it now.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
So may I just add to that? Because when that question was asked, the first thing that came to my mind was that, yes, just exactly what Baba Faleti said, that that the insistence on making that lie, go on for a long time is the same insistence that we're going to use to make the truth come alive.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, and you know what, the good thing about this is that if we look at this time last year, right, I don't even think we had half of this awareness, right? So now, which means we're moving. I mean, like something is, like something is happening. Like we are gathering momentum, if we may. And so the more we reinforce, it's about reinforcement. We reinforce with regards to the education that we're doing.
The awareness,
I think, the awareness and the education is really going to start holding ground. It's going to start holding water, and then things will start to move the way we want. And again, because we didn't get here in one day. Remember?
No.
They did it over time. So we will not get to we will not get to a point where, we will not get there also, on the fly, if we may. We're not going to get there on the fly and say, oh, suddenly, the people will be. But I think that little by little, we are actually, getting our people to, to listen and to wake up from their stupor, if I may use that word, because it looks like, people are just so like they are knocked out. But you can, but I think slowly, you can get, we can get our people back to, being awake and being fully aware. And I believe that every time we do this, also we should also give them, we should put some history into it to give them a kind of encouragement that like all is not lost.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I will just add quickly, it took 60 years to get to this point where our people were literally have been brainwashed.
More than that.
60. Well, yeah, but I'm talking in terms of
it started back in 1912.
It did, 1912, with the amalgamation and the fraud and everything else. Yes, but I'm talking in terms of so-called when we decided that
the
we
unitary Nigeria.
So, but you, of course, you're right. So, and in fact, if we even take what you just said now, over 100 years, to have got us to this state. So what we are doing now is waking our people up. I think we need a range of ideas. One of them is the key fundamentals has to be reaching people in the grassroots.
Yes.
And that is what we are doing. We share the message. We try and share small messages. We try and speak in our local languages. We try and give information, disseminate information to try and also wake our people up in terms of all of these other noises they've been hearing about this one speaking about this religion, that religion, and all of that stuff. Look, religion is important to each and every one of us, but our focus is our survival. And very much like they're saying, if you are not alive, you cannot practice any religion. And these guys are killing us. So we need to really get our people to understand this is literally about life and death. Literally now it's about life and death. There's nobody now in any part of that country that can guarantee and say, I will see tomorrow. Literally.
Let's talk, I wanted to, that's a really great point, Modupe, that you made, and really good point that you're making, Citizen AY. Let's talk about, I just wanted to bring this in quickly because we're going to be ended in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Ukraine had significant firepower against them. And before the Western world started helping them, what did they do? They held off the attackers. And when the Western world saw that they had the resolve, right? They now started giving them stuff to now push the advantage, right? But what were they doing in Ukraine? They were showing on CNN where at home, this family turned their whole house into a factory.
Yes.
They were sewing, the felt things.
I saw it.
Cutting the metal.
Yeah.
Okay. And putting it in so that their soldiers would have the thing to wear to cover,
like a shield.
The thing that
protector to ammo.
They were making their Molotov cocktails, right? And giving it to their people in the front so that they could throw it, and they were practicing throwing it, right? And we know that, in the Biafra War, some people don't know, but all of these happened. Obunigwe were things that they made, Molotov cocktails, and they held up the superior army of the British, the Russians. They all sent fighters into Biafra, right? They all sent their fighters into Biafra. And this little group of people were able to do things to protect themselves. And let's go back again, back further in history, the French Revolution. I say this all the time. The peasants had nothing. They were literally falling dead on the street, and they rose up. They rose up, and they overthrew the monarchy that was starving them to death.
Yeah.
The same situation exists in Nigeria right now.
Yeah.
There's starvation going on. There is killings going on.
Yeah.
There is the political elite eating the fat of the land, taking food out of the mouth of children. Yes, I said it. Because that's what's going on.
Yeah, that's a
when
bare
you
fact.
Have
That's
100 million living in poverty, 50 million are young people.
Yeah.
And the politicians cannot say that they do not know that each Ferrari, each private jet that they have is not taking food, education, shelter, clean water, health services from a child. They cannot say that. That would be utterly disingenuous.
They know. They
but
cannot.
The people can arise. There's more of us than the less than 1% of them, including the Fulani herdsmen that are coming in, including Boko Haram.
Yeah.
As the saying goes, they can't kill us all.
No.
Before they do that, we would have killed them all.
Yeah.
Even if it's with our bare hands.
Let me also add what you
to understand that power is in the people.
Yeah.
Power is in the
people.
Even when you're facing tanks, guns, artillery from sheep, right? Isn't that what Russia has been doing?
Exactly.
And yet Ukrainians are still standing. And we know how to stand. We know how to stand. So our people should not be faint of heart. They just need to know what's going on, because a lot of them don't actually know what's going on. Yeah. Maybe the educated know, but the masses don't. Once the masses understand, things will change.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know,
I want to add quickly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go
ahead. I want to add quickly that these are the kinds of encouragement that we need to be putting out there so that we can get our people to, to snap out of that, exactly.
Super. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly, because it's like, like the speaker said earlier on, the individual who spoke about, on the ground, right there in Nigeria, that people knew that, that all the things that we're saying, that they are aware, but they felt defeated, or they are defeated because they think that, these people have all the power. What we need to let them, and I like the examples that you gave, about Ukraine and all that, that really, in a war, victory is not determined by who has the superior artillery. It is the people who have the resolve. The resolve that no, this is not going to happen. Yes. That is what wins wars, and that's what And again, we need to emphasize this. There are also several instances in history, even in our Yoruba history, that we know that our forefathers, were successful against these people that have been planning the war, to attack them for a very long time, and they were successful twice. So again, it is not who has the most, weapons, or who has the most sophisticated artillery that is going to, win a war. Then secondly, that I also want something that I want our people to know, that if these people are truly brave, because to me, all their acts are acts of cowardice. If you're truly brave, why are you disarming people? President Buhari, why did you disarm the citizenry? You disarm the citizens so that AK-47 carrying people can go and kill them. Why don't you leave the people? Let them be able to defend themselves, and then let's see who the cowards are. Because many times, I'll hear people say, "Oh, you are cowards if you cannot stand." No, many people have tried to. Look at local vigilantes. But what happens is that you will find the Nigerian military that are now being populated by repentant terrorists now going after the vigilantes who are trying to protect their land. So again, you cannot tell me that you are brave if you are fighting somebody who is not armed. Tell me, how can you call yourself? I mean, that to me is not. I mean, it's nothing but cowardice.
Sheer cowardice. Sheer cowardice.
That I need to let our people know that these people, they are cowards. They are. So don't be afraid of them. Do not be afraid of them, honestly. And then again, if we can if we can continue to kind of just instill hope back in our people, because I know the feeling of hopelessness.
Absolutely.
It's rampant, and that's what we need
overcome.
Aside from education, we need to be putting hope back into our people, because that's what is going to give them the resolve to face this war. Because again, it
is a war.
Because again, a lot of them are saying that, our people will say, there's no war. Oh no, don't fight them, because there's already war.
It was already here.
They declared war on you without you even knowing. That's another.
Can you show your screen again?
So again, I don't want to get too emotional about this, but I'm telling you, it's like our people, believe me, we can do this, we are doing it.
We are doing it.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, let me just do this quickly, so I will show you that picture again. Let me share screen.
It is a war.
It is a war,
and
to be honest.
We've got the victims of the war already. Right now, it's mainly on our side.
Yeah.
It's pretty much all on our side.
It is.
However,
very much on our there. So there you go.
Yes.
So you can see that. I'm gonna try
we can see your
Oh,
screen
sorry.
Here.
One minute. Sorry. There you go. There you go. Got it?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
There is an undeclared war.
Yeah.
The war in Ukraine is called declared.
Yeah.
The war in Nigeria
is undeclared.
Declared, but make no mistake.
It is
Let's
going
look at the
on.
numbers
It is still
again.
a war.
Citizen AY, give us the numbers.
By cowards.
So let me give you the numbers again. So now, over 400,000 killed, over 400,000 refugees, over 4 million displaced, internally displaced people's camp, over 9 million at risk of poverty, over 90 million in abject poverty. That is what we're faced with. And we are facing an undeclared war brought on us by the Fulanis.
Yeah.
That is the real fact. We need to all wake up to that reality.
By the coward people.
The cowards.
They're cowards. Our people need to know that.
Yes. Because
this is where the awareness education becomes very, very paramount in fighting back.
Yeah.
Because given most of the numbers, for as long as I've been on this program, most of the numbers that Citizen AY just projected now, especially on the IDP population, they are just as new to me as anyone that hasn't had them before.
Yeah,
so you can imagine
a lot.
Yes, I know. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Because those numbers, they make the Ukraine war look like a street fight now.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, yeah.
And
100 million refugees is going to tank the world.
Indeed.
100 million refugees coming out of Nigeria is going to tank the world.
Indeed. Oh, absolutely. And they don't know that. Notwithstanding, the international community is still considering this a domestic problem, not a global crisis.
It is a global crisis.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because when you have over 4 million in IDP camps, and you don't have the CNNs of the world,
they're not talking
about it.
They're not talking about it.
They're not. No.
Looking the other way.
Do you notice when they hit 1 million in a week in Ukraine, it's all over the news.
Yeah.
But we have been having 2, 3, 4 million, 90 million in poverty. It's not on the news. But look, ultimately, that responsibility, this is why we're saying the awareness has to be local. We have to make this local on our ground. And we're doing, look, you may think that, many may see that, may think that what we're doing is not penetrating. Believe me, it is. Just look at the government, the fact that the government is even tinkering with the fraudulent constitution to try and quickly put in an amendment to allow Fulanis to come and take over the land quickly, and by way of getting INEC to come and start running elections in states and local government areas, that means that they're in a panic mode.
Right.
They're in a panic mode, and that is because the work that we're doing in sensitizing our people is reaching into the hinterlands, into all the small areas, and we need to continue. We just need to continue to push, and we urge us all. We need each and every one of us. If you're in diaspora, there's about between 20 to 40 million people, probably, I don't know the exact amount of the diasporans in diaspora.
That's a huge number, and we
should all be keyed into this.
Absolutely.
You should be doing something in your village, in your town, in your community.
Absolutely.
You should be communicating. You should be sharing this. You should not be silent, because the war is here. The figures are staring you in the face. 90 million in abject poverty. Let's not listen. We are doing the work, and we need more of us. And your voice matters. Each and every voice matters. We are all leaders collectively, and we can achieve this together. I want you to believe that. And I remain absolutely committed to this struggle, like everyone else is on this platform and other platforms around the world. We need to continue to push. We cannot relent now. We must continue to push. So I'll let you carry on. Great.
Yeah. International Criminal Court, December 11, 2020. Reasonable basis to believe that Nigerian armed forces committed acts against humanity, crimes against humanity that rises to the level of war crime.
Exactly.
War crimes. This is the Nigerian armed forces being put in the exact same category as Boko Haram and ISWAP, because they are doing the same thing. And we see it going on in Nigeria, as in Lekki, right? We saw that happening there. We see it happening in the southeast right now. We see it happening pretty much across the Middle Belt to the south. And people say it's herder-farmer conflict. I wish the farmers can just rise up and actually start fighting back. So we actually have a herder-farmer conflict, because right now all we have is a herder conflict.
Exactly.
All we have is a herder conflict.
Yeah, they're the ones.
Right
they're the ones being armed, and the government is funding them. The government is giving them guns. Is giving, and if they lose their cows, they get compensation. The people they get homes. They get given clothes. Their kids are sent to school on the money. Remember, they said, Governor Bada said, 80% of the budget for funding non-Nigerians is provided by the federal government of Nigeria.
Absolutely.
It's ironic. Jane just read us scathing indictment of the Nigerian armed forces by the International Criminal Court, and it just occurred to me, and who is the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian
armed forces? Yes, Buhari.
Exactly.
So, well, you know, he's the commander-in-chief. He's the immigration officer.
Yes, he's the petroleum minister.
Petroleum minister.
He's NNPC minister.
Minister.
What
Yes,
else?
Minister of Petroleum.
What else, can you help me with his other titles?
Yes.
Actually, I was looking for this, and I want to share it real quick. I mean, it's just maybe like a minute.
Yeah.
And I
want
to know, please.
We have 3 minutes, and then we are wrapping it up.
No, this is
we're
like
wrapping
less
up in
than
3
a
minutes.
minute.
Is what I mean.
This is less than a minute.
Free education for repentant Boko Haram, while the dead that they killed.
Look at them. Look at their faces. Look at the faces of evil.
Yeah.
Yes. And we have, Mojupe, do you have the IDP camp pictures? Because I want people to see the difference between what they're doing with the perpetrators, these terrorists, these killers, as opposed to what the victims, how Buhari's government is treating victims. Do you have any of that?
Let me have that.
Victims.
My starch. Let me see.
Victims are living in squalid conditions. Squalid.
You see, this fits into the narrative of this hierarchical enslavement and impoverishment that the colonial structure has put in place. It fits neatly into it. because they are oppressing and suppressing us. And of course, they are, let's not forget, in the end of all of this, we know the Fulanis are proxies of many of the colonial powers in actually accessing our resources. And we have to be very, so we need to be very, very clear. We cannot stand by. Those of us who are here, you know, when we think it's our families and us, what are we living for our generations to come? So we need to take collective action.
As the People Shark. When he's not on TV,
this is just
Damon John is one of
Hello there, many thanks for joining us in our Tuesday Business News Report. It's now time to bring you the feature on the show today as we're looking at the state of the Nigerian economy. Now, against the backdrop that 91 million Nigerians now live below the poverty line,
there you go.
By Nigerian Energy.
91 million.
102 million Nigerians may just emerge below that base come this year. This is based on the forecast by the federal government that not less than 11 million Nigerians will be pushed into the poverty rank this year as a result of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and other macroeconomic situations. Now,
no, it's the Ruga policy of the government that has actually pushed us into poverty. It's the Ruga policy.
Compensation of the leaders.
Yes.
And there will be no poverty in Nigeria.
Incentives to the agri sector and its various value chains as the lead in order to spur interest and reduce the poverty line.
Let me pull another one because I have another one. Bear with me for a second.
Let us cut
Continue
the
speaking.
pay.
I think I have a.
We reduce the pay of the lawmakers.
Yes, we should.
To a reasonable number, and that means it needs to be cut by 90%. So we need to hashtag stop political chop chop.
Yes, so
right, because we need to stop political chop chop so the people can chop and live. Because right now, politicians are chopping, and the people are starving.
I have
we need to hashtag end political banditry.
Yeah, let's hear from.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah,
I was going to say, Jean, along that line of compensation, believe me, I have a solution that I'm working feverishly to implement when we draft the new constitution. All the lawmakers should be pegged at the same civil servant salaries.
Yeah.
So that means if you cannot
survive, they are civil servants.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, because of the way that they're paying them, they now think that they're the owners of the land and the controllers of the land. Yes, they are civil servants.
Yes. Indeed. So that will kill the incentive to do ritual killings so that you can get a political job. If you become a politician, that means you have a genuine need to serve the nation, not to get rich.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yes. And we also have to remove the immunity. The immunity that they give all those governors.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do now.
In the amendments, they wanted to extend the immunity to the House. Extend the immunity to Senate.
Wow.
Extend the immunity
to the House of Reps, to senators, and all of the ministers and courts and all of them to get completely covered.
Yes, all of them. They were going to do that. That was in there.
This report is life in IDP camps. So let's just.
And then we will end with this.
Yeah.
Yes.
As of January 2015, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, placed the number of internally displaced persons at about 1,107,000 of them living in established camps and 804,000 of them with host communities. The situation which has created the camps are not pleasant ones, but most of the IDPs have adjusted and are making the most of a not so good situation. Life at the IDP camps is our big story for this episode. I'm Amy Thompson.
What year was this,
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I actually have about 4 of them. So this was the first one. I also have children in IDP camp, and then there's a full documentary, and then there's also, because
we have some that actually lays out, that shows their, the ones that show what their.
Okay, that was in 2016. I have a 2021. I have one 2020. So which one do you want? I can do it. Let me do the 2020.
Yeah, because we need to actually show.
All right, no problem.
I'm more up to date.
Several of them. I was just
people need to see we're talking about. It
so
is
let me
not
play this
funny.
one. And these are women and children in IDP camp. This was released in 2020, August of 2020.
See? Look at that. Yeah. I think I've seen this one as well. Yeah. Look at that. Look at the squalor.
This is the good one, guys. Guys, this is a good one.
Is it?
Oh,
This is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Let me.
Income
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
of resources. Poverty creates hunger and malnutrition, and it also limits access to education and other essential services that would have made life easier for you. Poverty amongst women poses more greater risk and challenges because of the responsibilities in the family. And that is why the Peter Radio 09 online visited Zara Mohammed. Zara Mohammed lives in the IDP camp in Durumi, the Federal Capital Territory. And she told me that the issue of empowerment for rural women and women like her in the camp are just like lip service to most organizations and individuals that come into the.
Did you see Dangote? Yeah, can you see Dangote's,
Yes.
what is it?
Yes. Dangote cement.
Exactly, yes. Look at that.
You know, most of our women, some go to school, some doesn't go to school. And people used to come and teach us handwork, like making liquids, sewing clothes, making all these snacks, all these things like grinding, they all teach us. But after teaching, they don't give us something to go on to help ourselves.
There you go.
Like I know how to make liquid soap, baking soap, Vaseline. I know how to make all these things, but I don't have money to start, honestly.
I asked Zara about the future of her children, and she was afraid.
Already married, I have 3 kids. And after these 3 kids, they are not going to school. This thing is very affecting me. Because when we are in the village, my choice is to go to school. But when we came today, there is no school. And the father doesn't have money that will take my children to school.
You see, and this is sad. And
the future being destroyed.
The future.
Exactly.
This is the next generation.
And that is what, and this is the clear evidence. Please, those of you espousing one Nigeria, please watch this video and look in your own hearts. This should be telling you that one Nigeria is a fraud, because the government is actually engaging in creating and spreading IDP camps across the whole of that contraption. We are better off going for self-determination, breaking apart from that contraption. Join us in this struggle. The coming generation depends on the actions you and I take collectively. We need to free the Middle Belt and the South from the contraption Nigeria. We need to free ourselves. The time is now for us to free the coming generation, prepare a better world for the coming generation of Southerners and Middle Beltans. Please do not relent. We need to join hands in this struggle. We have to break it up, break up contraption Nigeria. Please join us. This is harrowing to watch.
Unitarian. I just wanted to have a picture of the children. This is just a handful of.
Yeah, this is very painful to me.
Okay.
This is just, look at the number. And remember, we're talking about in that 4 million,
stop
right?
it.
Children would be over 2 million. Guys, are you guys listening?
Yes, 2 million.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. But and this is just a few thousand here.
I think
because people need to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah,
they
that's
really
it.
need to
That's
understand
it.
And
Yeah,
then let's look at, this is where they live, guys.
Look at that.
Okay.
Look at that.
This is where they live.
Look at that.
That's why I told you that one looked pretty good. Look at where they live. And the repentant Boko Haram are being
they're giving house. They are being housed.
They are being given clothing.
Yes.
They are being given housing. And these are the victims here. These are the victims.
That's one Nigeria.
The victims get.
One Nigeria is doing this to the victims.
This is what the victims
and rewarding Boko Haram. Rewarding
the
Boko Haram.
Killers, the murderers. And this is what the victims get. So, guys, thank you all very much today.
Thank you.
We still have a couple more to get. But I appreciate all the commentary. And I think that as we continue to share this information, and please, everyone, do subscribe to all the different Citizen AY. I think you are
Oduduwa TV Radio.
live on yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead and say it.
We're on live on Oduduwa TV Radio. We're on Citizen AY, and there's other. I think in JJ is also live as well.
Right.
You know, we're all doing this, and we're trying to. We need more. Look, this is for something. If you are a broadcaster, don't wait for us to come and tell you. Come and join us. The more, because this is a struggle for all of us. This is something.
We will help you with the research.
This is all. You can even join this this broadcast. Put a live message on here. Tell us we want to join us. Send us a link for next week. We need more of us because this message is really powerful message that we can all bring on board. And we are all leaders. Everyone's opinion is valued on this platform. We need our voices to be able to brought together, to crystallize, to actually get us to the promised land of breaking away from contraction Nigeria. We must all work together on this.
Thank you very much. And Maduka, your final words, and then Stephen, I'll come to you, and then we will be closing.
Well, thank you again for Thank you again for the for the opportunity to to have this discourse on the calamity that has befallen us, but for which we have to all figure out a way out of the out of this unfortunate situation. So again, next week we'll probably continue from here, but what I want to tell our people is that hang in there, there's hope. We're not in a hopeless situation. There's hope, and then together we'll be able to, band together and turn the table around, because our land is our land, and we will not give up our land, without without a fight. And fear is not going to make us give up our land, and whatever the plans they have is definitely going to fail. And as it is, it is failing, and it will continue to fail. So hang in there, my people. We got this. Thank you.
Awesome. Stephen.
Thank you all. I appreciate the opportunity to have been able to participate in this discourse on the false narratives and the effort we have made quite successfully to peel back the covering behind the false narratives, so that we can see each and every narrative for what it is. And essentially, what it is, it's just a convoluted effort by the jihadists to use any and every method of warfare to continue to enslave us, beginning with a religious war, progressing into political war, then coming into economic warfare, and when that seems to be failing, to turn into all-out jihadism that we are looking at, that is being clouded as banditry.
Yeah.
There is nothing like banditry in Nigeria. There is terrorism.
Indeed.
And let's call it spade a spade. Banditry is just the political speak-ease for the atrocities of terrorism.
False narrative.
It's a way to try and dampen the real nightmare situation.
Exactly.
To hide it.
Yes.
To almost trivialize it. Oh, they're just bandits.
Yes.
So,
and
all we need to do is give them more Nigeria money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
But the president has said, Bala Mohammed, as I wrap up, President Buhari has said that those in the forests are not Nigerians. They are from Mauritania, from Central African Republic, and other places in Africa that you, under Ruga, are wanting to bring in as citizens. They need to go. All of them from the forest need to go. And by the way, most countries do have in their constitutions and in their laws that if a migrant commits a felony, the citizenship is taken away and they are deported.
Exactly.
So thank you all very much. Next week we will continue to talk about laying out the invasion and conquest plan of the Fulani for Nigeria, and why all freedom groups must resist Ruga and the new amendments to that fraudulent constitution.
Yeah.
We must unite from the Middle Belt to the South, and later on we will deal with our Hausa brothers and help them out. But for now, the Middle Belt to the South must unite and work towards the self-determination plan as laid out by NINAS, which is the Nigeria Indigenous Nationalist Alliance for Self-Determination. That is the plan. And we all must get behind ending that constitution, go into a transition government, go into referendum where each nation makes a decision for themselves. And by the way, referendum is not a difficult thing, guys.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that after we finish the series. We'll talk about what is referendum and what is it going to take, so our people understand how simple it is. It's a simple, do you want to be in Nigeria? Yes or no?
No. Exactly.
And we'll talk about that after we're going
just to add, in 2016, 23rd of June 2016, UK had a referendum. The referendum, they asked themselves, do you want to be part of EU or do you want to leave? 70 million voted to leave, 16 million decided to stay. The leavers won and they left. That is what we're saying. That's it.
That is simple and short. So we need to get about to getting our people registered so that they can be part of the referendum. You know, each nation needs to make sure that it is getting its people, because you do have to vote in your different
regions.
blocks. Right. So the Yoruba block, the Lower Niger block, the Middle Belt block, you guys need to get yourselves together, because you need to vote in your blocks and decide what you want to do. But we have the law on our side, because the Fulanis don't have land in Nigeria. They're forcibly taking land, which is unlawful. And so our cause is just, and theirs is terrorism. It is murder. It is absolutely unjustified and unlawful. So join us again next week.
Thank you.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m. Nigeria time. And we welcome you to please share this information. You can translate it. You can translate portions of it. You can take portions of it so that our people really understand what's going on. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Modupe. Thank you, Citizen AY. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
See you again next weekend.
And
very well.
And Ejiofor as well. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Go ahead, Modupe.
No, actually, when we're off the camera.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was going to let me stop the live stream.
Okay, I'm going to stop that here as well. Okay, let me stop that here as well. Okay. We're off the camera now. One second. Let me just check this end.
Okay, so
let's just check something quickly before I say something.
Just make sure he's completely off.
Yeah.